In 2020, we proved that we could do things that we never thought were possible. We have colleges that have become vaccination centers. During fires, we have become emergency sites. We have transitioned all 116 colleges in less than a month for some of you into fully online institutions. So if we can do that in 1 year, I know that we can collectively do this as a family and as a community that serves the largest percentage of students in this state.
The Academic Senate has really engaged in a conversation with faculty leaders across the state, as well as with the Chancellor's Office. This work is not and cannot be done solely by faculty. It really requires partnership and collaboration to make a huge change.
If you have a peer mentor, faculty, staff, whoever it is you're connecting with that kind of has a similar background as you and looks like you, you're going to feel more comfortable going to them and saying, hey, this is something that I've struggled with. As a person of color, how did you cope with this in your professional career?
Students need to see themselves reflected amongst our staff, amongst our faculty, and amongst our administrators. Because if they don't see themselves reflected in the institution, how then can they imagine that they can also be occupying and making an impact in their communities, in the community, in roles in education, but also in other professions? It's
important that as we look at our hiring processes, that we begin to start making those conversations regular. And so we just have to engage more around the importance of faculty diversification and how to achieve that by looking at our practices and policies around those areas.
But when it comes to the diversity work, California is leading the way. And so I think we have a big opportunity not only to be the model for other states, but also be a model and really support one another.
What's critical about this next stage of the work is that we need everyone. We need everyone to connect the dots back to teaching and learning, the experiences of the students, the supports that we need to build in, and this journey can lead us to the next stage of the work that we need to do to achieve in the next 10 years, closing racial equity gaps for the state of California.
I think everyone has a role in this, and I think if we show up together, we're able to do some great things.
Having this diversity is essential for students to be able to be successful later on. I went through my K through 12 learning very Eurocentric history curriculum, and it wasn't until I reached community college that I had my first Black American history professor. And there is nothing like the experience that I learned in that class.
So there's tons of opportunities to serve students that we've learned during these times. And my hope is that we just don't go back to normal, because normal was really status quo, and normal allowed for a lot of populations, Black and brown students in particular, and people of color, to really struggle. We don't want normal to be normal again, because we won't be a better society for those individuals.
This work is critical to ensuring that they feel like they belong, that they are being served by their system, and that they can continue to envision a future that they thought was never possible.